Hello friends, Bill Hobson here, and at the start of today's program I'm wearing kind of a patriotic red, white, and blue starred shirt. But today's featured destination is one that is drawing acclaim from all around the world. Quite an international audience, if I do say so. We're looking forward to introducing you to a really special place in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, straight ahead.
Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television, shining the spotlight on the best places to play, stay, and celebrate the greatest game on earth. Stay connected to Michigan Golf Live 24/7 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. And subscribe for free to our weekly FORE Golfers Network podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere podcasts are found. Here's your host for MGL TV, Bill Hobson.
Hello friends, and welcome into the program. And as we begin, you are looking at dreamers. These ladies are part of the Epson Tour. They dream someday of being part of the LPGA Tour and making a living playing this game we love so much. I'm Bill Hobson, and it is great to have you with us because today's featured destination is good enough that it hosts the future stars of this game, and it's also inviting enough that all of you can come here and play. We are in Michigan's beautiful Upper Peninsula. You get to the Mackinac Bridge and turn left about 2.5 hours, and you find yourself just outside of Escanaba in Harris, Michigan, where you will find two golf courses, Sweetgrass and Sage Run, as part of Island Resort and Casino, a remarkable destination with a tremendous value and an invitation for you to come and play. Every time I try to describe Sage Run, I come up short, so I'm glad you're here. How do you describe it for somebody who's not been there?
I'd call it an experience that's going to allow you to experience quite a few different terrains, quite a few different golf shots. I think, as I've told you before in other interviews, we built this around a drumlin, which is a large ridge, basically, that's sticking up out of a larger flat area. So what we tried to do is have golfers play up, over, around, and through this drumlin. So I think you're going to experience downhill shots, uphill shots, a couple semi-blind shots, a couple shots where you're looking right at the green. So I think it's going to be a diversity of experience, not only from a terrain standpoint, but from a golf standpoint.
I think a lot of golfers are accustomed to northern Michigan golf and they think about elevation, but they think about downhill. What prompted you or inspired you to turn some of those into uphill shots?
Yeah, well, you had to get back uphill to play downhill often. So that's the trick when you're out in a golf course, is to figure out the nicest way to get up. So what we like to do is par threes or some good short par fours like we have over at Sage Run, some really nice uphill par fours. So you don't feel the pain as badly when it's a short par four or par three uphill. And then you get on the top of the drumlin, and that's when we get some dramatic views downhill. So it's a little bit of a roller coaster ride going up and down.
What's the difference in the course from day one to now?
I like to, I've used the analogy with you many times about the two different courses we've done here, being red wine and white wine. And like all wines, the more they mature, they get better with age. And Sage is definitely that. And Matt Sly, the superintendent over there, has done a phenomenal job of getting the turf to a level of quality that really is mature, so you can enjoy that from a conditioning standpoint. And just the trees are starting to mature. When we clear out trees, you'll have some trees that are left over that are not used to being out in the open. But now that they have been out in the open for a few years, they start to look mature, the turf is mature, and that really gives it a nice body, if you will, if you were thinking about a bottle of wine.
This golf experience near Escanaba is as beautiful, as good a value, and as challenging as any destination you'll ever visit. Sweetgrass and Sage Run, two wonderful Paul Albanese designed golf courses, and nobody knows them better than Dave Douglas, who's got almost a couple decades in as the director of golf. How do you describe this setting?
Sage Run has that rough, rugged look, kind of real natural. Everything's natural, incorporated the tee-offs, just part of the natural terrain. Very hilly golf course, a lot of tree-lined fairways, and very different than Sweetgrass. Sweetgrass has that links appearance, all the fairways framed in by the fescue grasses, and but both courses just immaculate condition and pretty much liked by all.
Sage Run's got this unique kind of flipping of the script, where we're accustomed to coming to northern Michigan and playing downhill holes. Everybody wants to take pictures of downhill par threes and par fours, and there are those, But there's also the exact opposite over at Sage with some pretty steep uphill opportunities.
Right, yeah, he has a lot of elevation change over there, and he did all the shorter length holes, all are pretty much uphill. We have 2 short par 4s that they're drivable to the longer hitters, and then a couple par 3s that are uphill also. But then most of your length in the holes are downhill tee shots. It's a real nice golf course, and like I said, it's a real natural look, rugged look, and you really feel like you're in the middle of nowhere.
You and I are standing near the 9 and 18 green complex at Sweetgrass, and we're doing so as the ladies on the Epson Tour are here for the Island Resort Championship. So this course is one of their favorites on their entire schedule, and it's a really good championship test of the game. What makes Sweetgrass so good? Yeah,
they love the conditions to begin with, and the course it's a good test. The fairways have a lot of room off the tee, pretty generous off the tee, but the approach shots in your short game better be on to be able to score here well.
We are here at Island Resort Casino during the Epson Tour Island Resort Championship, and it's always fun to talk with some of the players here. This is Caitlin Pat Buddha, who is, you're dreaming, right, of stardom on the LPGA Tour. How long have you been pursuing that dream?
I would say when I was 10 years old, that really kind of sparked my dream for playing on the LPGA Tour when I went and watched my first LPGA event. And ever since then, that's been kind of the goal and dream in mind. And I achieved that last year. And after an injury, I'm back on the Epson Tour. And now I have that kind of same dream and goal in mind for the future.
So you come to a place like this, which rolls out the red carpet for tournament week. What's it like here when you play the Sweetgrass course, and how do you enjoy it?
I enjoy this golf course a lot. I mean, I played here 2 years ago as well, and it's always in great shape, and everyone here is so friendly and eager to host us. And between the food and the hospitality and the facilities, it's just a great tournament to play at.
And here you are able to come to northern Michigan from Texas. Now in Texas this time of year, you can't really go outside. No. So welcome to northern Michigan.
Yes, I went home last week for our off week, and the highs were like about 105, and the heat index was in the 100 teens. So I'm definitely happy to be here in Michigan. The weather's perfect.
I'll tell you what, that Sage Run golf course is beautiful. What a spectacular piece of property, and what an amazing job architect Paul Albanese did to carve that out. Now, we have more golf coming up a little bit later in the program, but when we return, we'll bring you inside Splash Island, introduce you to the Steakhouse, and help paint the picture for why this is such a great family destination. If you've not been to this part of the Upper Peninsula over in Escanaba, they've got a little something here for everybody, the die-hard golfer, the water enthusiast, and the entire family. We'll tell that story when we return. You know that here at Island Resort Casino, you can have a great time on the golf course. But if you want to bring the entire family, you can also have a lot of fun off the course in a little place called Splash Island. You know there's an excellent golf experience waiting for you at Island Resort with Sage Run and Sweetgrass. I'm looking at Sweetgrass out the window because we have come to the very top of the new tower to the Horizons Steakhouse, where the food is as good as the golf. Executive Chef Alex Perota, this is your place, your office. What a view you have.
It's gorgeous, especially in the fall and in the winter.
Well, we know golfers love a good experience on the course, but they also love every once in a while to get cleaned up, go to a special restaurant. What's special about Horizons?
Our fine dining experience. I offer things that the UP doesn't offer. Lamb rack, we offer duck in the fall. You can't get that anywhere else.
You have a very unique menu. We started with some watermelon salad, which is certainly in keeping with the season we're in here in the summertime. And then take us through a tour, if you would, of these main entrees, because this looks incredible.
So the 14 ounce is featured on my menu as right now is the garlic mashed potatoes and the bacon Brussels sprouts. are two sides that are offered, as well as many others that you can get with accompanying it with your steak.
And right in front of you is the one that I have my eye on most.
The steak Oscar, it's a very, very popular dish here. It's a trace major cut, 8 ounce, very tender, topped with crab meat, béarnaise sauce, asparagus, and roasted lemon pepper red potatoes.
Okay, as we wrap up our time together, I just need one recommendation from you. What's dessert? What should we go for?
A chocolate banana cheesecake.
I've never had that before. Is this a specialty?
It's something I order quite often, actually. It's very popular.
All right, well, it looks incredible. Thank you for hosting us and
Thank
for
you.
all the work you do to make a dining experience so memorable here.
Thank you.
Many of you watching us today will eventually make your first ever trip here to Island Resort and play Sweetgrass and Sage Run. For Therese Warner, this is her first time playing in the Epson event here. So what are your initial impressions of this resort and this course?
I've been really enjoying it so far. I love the facilities, and the people here are great and so accommodating to us players. When you come out on the course, it's in like pristine condition. I've been loving the greens, and the layout of the course has been really good for us.
Well, tell me about the dream you have. You know, when you're putting your head on the pillow at night and you're thinking about golf, what is the Therese Warner dream?
The Therese Warner dream, well, I feel like I can speak for a lot of girls out here, but to be #1 in the world is always the ultimate goal. So that's my goal, and I'm just going step by step. We'll get there eventually, but yeah, it's a slow but steady process.
Pretty hard to beat a day like this in northern Michigan, isn't it?
It's been beautiful. This is my first time in northern Michigan, so this is just great. I love it.
All right, we showcased Sage Run earlier. We've had some fun at Splash Island. We had some wonderful dinner in the Steakhouse. So there's only one thing left to do, and that is slide on over to our final golf course. Into the dark abyss. Now that was graceful, right? Straight ahead, we visit Sweetgrass, the site of the Epson Tour's Island Resort Championships, when we return. Welcome back to the program as we continue from Island Resort and Casino near Escanaba, about 2 hours and 20 minutes west of the Mackinac Bridge. And we are here as the Epson Tour Island Resort Championship is being held, where the dreamers, the future stars of the LPGA like Nelly Korda and Leona Maguire and so many others, this is where they get started. And they get started through a competition on a beautiful golf course called Sweetgrass. And the best part is, you too can play Sweetgrass. Here to help paint the Sweetgrass picture is the artist who carved it out of this landscape, Paul Albanese. The championship, the mothership, so to speak, the first course here, Sweetgrass. And as you and I talk, the Epson Tour is here. So you get to see some really talented golfers put to the test. What experience are they in for?
They're in for an experience where they got to think their way around a golf course, and they're going to enjoy the scenery and the beauty of the terrain. But they have to, think pretty hard to get around this golf course in a low number. And yeah, I'm proud of the fact that I've been coming here for over 10 years, probably, maybe longer than that, and playing in the tournament every year with the young ladies. And man, they are so talented. But my biggest compliment that I get is how much they really enjoy coming back here year after year. And they always give me high praise for how the golf course plays, and that's something I'm proud of.
They are dreaming of playing this game for a living for a long time. Our viewers are dreaming of getting out for a fun weekend or a week-long getaway. What's the experience like on Sweetgrass for the average golfer?
Yeah, we designed all our golf courses, really, and we did that same over at Sage Run, which is their newest golf course. We did this one to make sure that the Epson Tour people would have a fair challenge, and really, quite frankly, men professionals could come out here and have a real fair challenge from the back tees. But if you play the correct tees and you play it from that distance that you should play it from, you're going to have no problem having a good time out here. It's really what it really comes down to is it's pretty hard to make a birdie, but you're going to have no problem making bogeys.
I know 15 is the postcard hole, the par 3, the island with that beautiful bridge. But I want to ask you about the green that you can see just off in the distance beyond 15, the other par 3 with some unique characteristics to it.
Yeah, that's called the Barrett's green, actually, and it's a famous green from North Berwick, Scotland. the 16th hole at North Berwick. It actually is I believe, the original Baritz. And it's a green that essentially has 3 different plateaus, a high one in the front, then you go deep down low into a low valley, and then you go back up to a high one. And they did at North Berwick. That's always been inspiring to me. And when we first proposed that to Scott and Tony, who were reviewing the designs, I specifically remember Scott being very skeptical about the idea. He was like, is this really going to be something that's going to work? And luckily, he let us all go forward with it. And now I think it is one of the more talked about greens out there, along with 15.
What are you proudest of at this place?
At this place, well, I'm the most proud that they brought me back to do the second golf course. I mean, that's the biggest praise you can get, is you do a good enough job on the first one that the owners ask you to do a second one. And so Scott and Tony asked me to do Sage Run, so that's what I'm most proud of, is having been able to do 2 projects for one client and really make them very satisfied, as well as I'm proud of the fact that all the great feedback we get about both of these golf courses. I mean, I get a lot of things on social media, a lot of emails, people telling me how much they enjoy coming up here. And this really is, I took my 12 of my own buddies up here once, and we go all around the world in golf packages and play a lot of great courses. And they said this was, without question, the most valued trip that they had, because the package that these guys put together up here for 2 golf courses, staying at the casino, it's really a great place to come.
When you talk about the Dreamers on the Epson Tour, you know that it's kind of a traveling family that goes from stop to stop. And of course, we are here while they are here at Island Resort. Jody Brothers, you see this show week after week.
Yep.
What makes these young ladies special in their dedication?
Well, I would say there's a lot of things that make them special. I mean, their talent is one, the first and foremost. They wouldn't be out here playing for a living if they weren't extremely talented, but the ability to travel. We have 22 events. This is the 11th event of the season, and we've been in 5 or 6 different states already. It's not glamorous travel. It's not private jets. It's a lot of cars. It's plane rides. It's I think
grinding.
This is a grind. So I think what makes them special is their perseverance, and you know, the cost. They put together the funding to come out here and do this, and then they play for, you know, roughly $225,000 a week. I think that's the purse this week. Which is pretty average on tour. But
that's not for the winner, that's for everybody.
That's for everybody. So the winner's share is about 20% of that. And so they're not getting rich out here. What they're doing is they're proving that they're ready to play at the next level, which is the LPGA, which is really the dream that they're chasing.
It takes a venue like this to believe in this whole formula and to really invest in it, make itself available. And I know Tony and the team here really believe in it. Yeah, they do, and it's evident when you arrive, and you know, Tony's there to greet a lot of the athletes, and he's got a special relationship with not just, you know, the athletes, but the ancillary sponsors and the Pro-Am participants. It's just, you feel very welcomed when you come here, and I think the athletes get a little lift out of that. I mean, like I said, we're midway through the season. It's kind of a grind. Some have had great seasons and they've made good money. Some have had to struggle so far. So to come and be accepted and to be welcomed the way that Island Resort and Sweetgrass Golf Club, you know, sort of welcome the athletes, I think gives everybody a little bit of a lift. As we tell the story of Island Resort and invite you to come here and play on Sage Run and Sweetgrass, we do it in the context of the Epson Tours Island Resort Championship, and Tim Kramer has seen almost every one of these.
All of them.
What is it about this place that you enjoy?
Oh my gosh, well, we were talking about this last night. We had a little dinner last night with the casino staff, managers, and just talking a little bit about the tournament. And you know, I was telling them I've been to probably, this is my 11th year with the Epson Tour. I've probably been to almost 160 events during my career just with the Epson Tour. And, you know, coming here, it's just, you know, you've got all the ingredients that make a special week. You've got a great golf course, you've got the hospitality, you've got a community that really supports the event. So typically when we go into a market, you maybe get 1 or 2 of those ingredients. Here, all 3 of them, all 4 of them, you know, come together and make it a really special place. So
I know the hospitality side for the players is kind of top of the charts, but the golf course is too.
The golf
right?
course is pretty, I mean, I think if you polled all of our players, it's definitely one of the top 2 golf courses that we'll play during the year. So it's always in great shape. John Holberton always has it in tremendous condition. And I know it's been a little dry this year, but
can't tell.
No, players are like, it looks as good as it always does. So we're pretty fortunate that we're able to play this golf course, and typically, you know, the best player that's playing the best that week wins this tournament, because you got to hit fairways and greens. So, you know, it's a fun golf course.
You know how certain names just match certain people? Well, when you meet a really good golfer named Tess Hackworthy, it seems almost too good to be true, but here she is, the winner of the Wisconsin Women's Open, and out here on this Epson tour chasing the dream.
Yes.
What's the dream?
Oh my gosh. The dream is to play well, to succeed, to get to the LPGA Tour, to play well there, to enjoy it, to have fun. And this is just the stepping stone to get there. And to feel that success along the way feels really nice.
You've been to this place before. Mm-hmm. How do you describe it to people who've never been here?
To me, it feels like home. I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, so not too far from here. So all the pine trees, the bluegrass, it feels very comfortable, but I would say very green, very plush, stunning, great weather. It feels like northern Wisconsin to me, so northern Michigan. To me, it feels comfortable. It feels like home.
There's a lot of hard work in this game if you really want to achieve the heights that you dream of. So what's the biggest thing that Tess Hackworthy is working on in her game?
I'm working on my short game. I'm working on my putting. You kind of start to see out here, everyone can hit the ball. Everyone's a great ball striker. We all have so many great talents, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to who can put the ball in the hole. So spending more time here on the putting green, on the chipping green, and kind of seeing, you know, we see a lot of different grasses throughout the year. And so spending that time at each venue and kind of getting used to how the ball will react and whatnot has been really key for me.
I've got one more piece of advice for you.
Yeah.
I always try to leave my guests in a better place than when we started. Legal name change, Tess Birdie Maker. I think it fits. I think it works.
That fits great.
All right, we'll get that taken care of. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It can be difficult to summarize all of the reasons you would want to come visit Island Resort Casino. The Sweetgrass and Sage Run courses are part of the equation, but there's a lot more, and so I'm glad to be joined by my friend Tony Mencia, who is the head of a great team here,
yeah,
really.
Thank you.
And let me have you sell the soap, so to speak. What makes this a great destination?
Well, you know, if you're a golfer, we obviously have the golf, and that sells itself. They're both top 20 courses in the state. They're great experiences. We have great packages with Timberstone and Gray Walls. But I always tell folks it's the nightlife. We have the whole nightlife. We have concerts, we have live bands on the weekends, we have a water park for the families, we got a steakhouse, a showroom, just about everything you want to do. So really, it's the whole day.
We are talking while the Epson Tour event is here, the Island Resort Championship, and these young ladies love this place. And I know you love having them here. What's your favorite part about tournament week?
Oh, you know, it's giving the trophy out. That's the best part of the week. You know, somebody's going to change their career this week. Even if they're in the top 5, they're probably going to change their career. And you get to see them on TV the next year, so that's the best part. But you know, we want to host a great stop. You know, they have 22 stops, and you know, they don't have the opportunities the men do. The men have all the money. They're fighting over who can give out the most money. Here, we're just trying to give them an opportunity, and they take the bull by the horns, and they play really hard, and it's a good show.
Part of that good show is what you put into it that no other tour stop does, like a fishing contest called the Basters Tournament.
The Basters has really grown in prestige. This is our 10th year.
Still awarding the green T-shirt to the winner?
The green T-shirt to the winner and a lifetime exemption. That goes with it. But yeah, it's grown, and today at registration there was 37, 38 players trying to get in. We only had 30 slots.
Everybody wants a piece of the action.
Yeah, it's a legacy thing.
So what does it mean to you to play a role in the development of these dreamers, because that's what these young ladies are?
Oh yeah, it's really exciting. You know, it's the best week of the year for me because you see people trying to be something. They're trying to be a professional golfer, where we're all in our careers, right? And you kind of look back and you see the excitement they have, and it brings a lot of energy to the area.
Well, we have showcased Sage Run and Sweetgrass and all that this great resort has to offer. And whether you're dreaming of a career as a professional golfer like these ladies who are practicing behind me, or you just want a great weekend getaway with family and friends, you have got to make your way to Island Resort and Casino.
Could you please use your golf voice? We're trying to putt here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gotta use my golf voice. Make your way to Island Resort and Casino. We'll see you next time.